Good afternoon, my kindergarten friends. So, for the past few weeks, we've been doing different words that end in different sounds. We did AT, like cat, fat, rat. We did IG, like pig and jig. We did EN, like hen and pen. And we did ET, like Chet and vet, who had a pet, right? Today we are going to do words that end in an. An. That's the sound of an. An. So here are some words that end in an. The first is can. Can. Well, this happens to be a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. But there are lots of different things that come in a can. Think about it and talk to some people at your house. What kinds of things do you know that come in a can? Talk about it for a minute and we'll come back later and see some things that come in a can. There's also another way we can use the word can. Can I please have an apple? Can I please have an orange? So we use it to ask a question. Next, we have the word fan. Fan. A fan is used to cool us off. I have to sneeze. Okay, so a fan is used to cool us off. How about man? Man. Remember, our dads are men. So our dad is a man, grandpa is a man, uncle is a man. The next thing we have is a pan. This happens to be a pan that you would cook like eggs in or maybe hamburgers, but you also have deeper pans that you can cook your soup in. Next we have ran. She looks like she ran a long ways. Ran, she ran. Next we have a van. Van. A van is a big vehicle that some families have. You may have an SUV, but you may have a van because it holds a lot of people. When I was your age, we didn't have vans. We had station wagons if you had big families, okay? Also, some men are named Van. Let's go back to our soup can. What other things do you know that come in a can? We have soup, we have beans, different kinds of vegetables. If you have a dog or a cat, maybe your pet food comes in a can. Okay, so I'm going to put this up and then we are going to read a story with words that end in an. So just give me 1 second here. Okay. So I wrote a story and the title of my story is Dan the Man. Sounds the same. That means it rhymes, Dan and man. You could say Van the Man, or what are some other names that might end in an? There's a girl's name, Nan, that sounds like Dan and man. So I'm going to read my story now. There was a man. His name was Dan. It was hot, so he turned on the fan. I really like to have the fan on at night when I'm falling asleep because the sound makes it very soothing for me. He went to the store in his van to buy some soup in a can. Why would he go to the store and buy some soup in a can? Probably, maybe he was hungry. You know, it's hard to find soup right now because of the COVID-19, but sometimes you can find it in the can. So that's our story. Now I have some questions that I would like for you to answer, just like we talked about the past few weeks. Remember, we want to try to answer our questions with a full sentence, right? What was the man's name? So, remember how we talked about when you're reading a story and you have a question about the story? Usually you can go back into the story to find the answer to your question, right? So, number one, what was the man's name? Well, there was a man. His name was Dan. So, for your answer, I would like you to write a complete sentence and you can say, his name was Dan. Is there another way you can answer that question? What was the man's name? You could say the man's name was Dan. So if you want to make it a little harder for yourself, you can do that. Number two, how did Dan get to the store? Well, he went to the store in his van. He went to the store in his van. So just like I've been telling you, remember that you can always find the answer to your questions in your story. Well, let's look at the third question. What did Dan turn on when it was hot? Let's see. There was a man. His name was Dan. It was hot, so he turned on the fan. So you could say he turned on the fan. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, what did Dan turn on when it was hot? You could say, when it was hot, Dan turned on the fan. It's okay to challenge yourself a little bit when you're answering these questions, especially because we are almost first graders. And in first grade, your teachers are going to challenge you to write your sentences bigger and better, okay, than you did in kindergarten. Because every time you move up a grade level, you get challenged to do more so you can learn more. So I'm going to put my story and my questions right there. And I would like you to think about the words that we've used over the last few weeks and try to write a story using at least one word from each week. One IG word, one AT word, one EN word, one AN word. Think about that. You could say, the pig did a jig. He was hungry, so he ate some soup in a can. You can do all kinds of different things, okay? And you can also write a story and draw the pictures that go with it. Okay, so that's my challenge to you for this week. Now, remember, when we are either writing sentences or asking questions, we begin each sentence with an uppercase letter. What is the word we've talked about that no matter where you use it in the sentence, it's always uppercase? It's the word I. When you're talking about yourself, I am here, I teach ESOL, I love my kindergarten friends. You always make the I a capital I. Number two, finger space between words. Remember, Miss Fletcher told you that in her very first video. You can use your finger, you can use a spoon, you can use a pencil to put a finger space between each of your words. Finally, we are going to end each sentence with a period or a question mark. How about that? Don't forget these rules. They're really important rules. And I really hope that you continue to even review these writing videos during the summer and maybe write some stories of your own and keep them for me when we come back to school and you can show them to me in August. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone in person because I miss you all very much. So you all have a great day. Bye.